I was a victim of gun violence. 2 years ago, almost to the day, it was a lovely Sunday morning around 10 a.m. It's burned into my brain. And I was riding my motorcycle. Yes, I was. I did not have any weapon on my body. There was an accident in front of me that was incredibly serious. The vehicle went through a red light, ripped off the front end of the vehicle. There was one person in the car. I stopped because it was in my path, and to cut to the chase, the driver exited with a shotgun. He pointed it at me, as well as a couple of other bystanders. They ran. He turned the shotgun on me. He offloaded the only round in the gun, or I would not be here. My deputy ultimately arrived and, in a show of force, took his life. My deputy had been out of training 2 weeks. 2 weeks when that happened. That rocked my world, to be honest. And like I said, I've never spoken of that publicly until now. That's how important this is to me personally.
If we don't keep communicating, we fail to do so amongst law enforcement professionals, our legislatures, and to make laws, and we have all failed each other and our whole community. No matter how we fight and how we disagree, that is something that I'm dedicated to doing, always will, always have been, and it will never stop. I keep telling people firearm enhancements when it's with a violent felon needs to be enhanced to a higher felony on the state level, and we need to stop depending on the damn feds. If we don't make it more difficult in the state, no criminal is going to respect law enforcement, respect any uniform that anybody's wearing up here. It will not get done. When we need to go to a different type of case and network, then we go to our federal partners and we work in conjunction and collaborate.
If we really look at why are the reasons we incarcerate people, we talk about incapacitation. If somebody's in jail, they're not going to commit other offenses, right? People forget, they always ask law enforcement, well, why didn't you catch him? Let me tell you something. They commit dozens of crimes before we catch them the one time, sometimes hundreds, till we catch them the one time. That does not mean they're not out there reoffending, just we haven't caught them yet. Rehabilitation, we spend a lot of time talking about rehabilitation and the importance of that. Yes, rehabilitation is important. We want these people to come back as productive members of society. We spend a lot of time talking about that because that's the good stuff. That's the soft stuff. We want to be people better. But locking people up so they don't commit crimes, that's a tough one. And that's where we talked about bail reform and who should be locked up and who shouldn't. But that is more conversation that needs to take place in further polishing our bail reform system.
And so we need to hold these criminals accountable, you know, these repeat offenders. And I'll reiterate what the sheriffs have already said. You know, we need bail reform. We need these people to stay in jail. We don't want everybody in jail. You ask any law enforcement officer, we don't say lock everybody up. We understand that there's people that want help. And let's get the people that want help, the help that they need. But when you offer somebody help and they don't want help and they continue to victimize communities and they continue to victimize the state of New Mexico, well, I think we need to lock them up. And that's going to send a clear message, I think, to the community that there's accountability, that there is going to be a deterrent, that if you commit a crime with a weapon, that there's going to be, you know, even mandatory sentencing, enhanced penalties. It needs to be taken serious. And we need to send a clear message to the criminals that are out there victimizing the community. And I think that's going to be I would think, the best solution to the issue.